since I was supposed to see it, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, March of 2020. Yeah, I'm gonna see that sometime this weekend.
What's the other?
And I am not paying like $30 to watch it on Disney Plus, which I already pay a freaking subscription to.
Yeah, we're probably going to go see it. That's probably what we'll watch.
Hey guys.
Donald Carson.
What's up, Don?
Hey, Rob. I was at Target today and saw some new Gundam armor frame sets.
Okay.
One is the RX-78, but it doesn't look like the RX-78 because it's missing. It's like it said like Type 1, I think is what it said.
Yeah, it's black, white, and red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's two Zaku's. One is like a light lime green. The other's black and white.
Okay, so they've got the next
2.
wave already.
Zaku 2, I think, is what it said. I was trying
to.
Yeah, it's the Zaku 2 F2 type. I've actually got that wave on pre-order through BBTS, so I'm good on that.
Well, okay, yeah, I saw that. Sorry I was late, guys. The we had to meet the realtor and all that kind of stuff.
How's everything going?
Well, are we broadcasting?
Yes,
we are.
Speaking coded language.
Oh no, I don't want to bore everybody with.
Don, this is pre-show. People tune in for this stuff.
I know. Basically, we had some concerns, and we basically we took the contingency after the inspection and redid the contract based on what we found from the inspection. The biggest worry that we have right now is the deck needs a little bit of tweaking, and it's a cast iron waste pipe going to the city link, which is all of our from our house to where it meets the city is our responsibility, and it's cast iron because that's what was used in the house when this house was built.
Yeah, it's an old house.
Yeah, so that's a concern. Also, there's nowhere for the dryer to vent the heat, but that's something that he's already agreed to take care of without us using that weird lint trap indoor thing.
That's great in the winter, and it smells good too.
Yeah, that's what I've heard that as well.
I don't know. I mean, I've never. I go out. I would go outside on the deck and like just smell it, sniff it, and it's warm. Like I can imagine how. God, it would be horrible to have that in the house. I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah, so it's a lot of small things that just need to be tweaked. Some stucco needs to be patched. Some of the concrete that they poured is settled, and we need to make sure that's caulked and covered so water and ice doesn't.
It sounds like it's like my house when I sold it. I didn't want to do any of that stuff, so I left it, and the people that I bought it from didn't care. Yeah.
Well, it's just she had a problem with her last house as far as water in the basement. And up in that area, Brian, you have a basement in that area, it's going to leak. It's just the way it's the way Roanoke is basically the geography of the land. So we renegotiated everything as far as what we need to see, and we'll just go from there.
Cool. It could have been worse, Don. My mom had a closing today, and the other people didn't show up.
Oh wow.
Well, now is she in real estate, or is she selling her house?
She's selling the house I grew up in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I know how that feels, man. Trust me. It's kind of like it's. See, I mean, I could have lit, and after Mom passed away,
you sure could have.
But the thing is, though, one, the memories, and two, it was just me and Massey, and that's a split level ranch, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath,
toy room.
It's but
two toy room, 1 bedroom.
Yeah, but it's
Done.
also
after I'll tell you this. After a couple years after my folks died, the house not the house we grew up in, but the house I spent my teenage years in, the house they both died in, went up for sale, and I really considered buying it. I went and looked at it. It needed a lot of work. And at the time, it seemed like, it was an astronomical price. It was all of $40,000, which now I'm like, that for a house? Oh my God.
But hey, Brian, housing has gone so nuts near me I just had a house around the corner sell that's brand new. It's not even as big as mine, but it had
Mhm.
more bedrooms. It was a 5-bedroom, but I have more square footage. It sold for 625.
My house has appreciated 30% in 8 months.
We saw
Well,
a house we loved down in uh North Carolina. I'm trying to think.
Diecast. Sorry, before you finish. They're building a new neighborhood across the street from me.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
This one had a pool, everything, a separate garage. It was like 515.
Attached.
And I was like, man, we could sell our house and totally buy that house.
There's diecast. There's an awesome house here. It's a Victorian style. It's older, but it's amazing, and it's for sale, and it's like 400.
I like the pool and the fact that it had a separate like garage area that could also work as a studio or like a display area. It was really nice. And I'm sure my wife would be happy that it would not be attached to the house.
I mean, like I said before, what we need to feel comfortable from a space requirement leaving here, what I've got, because, as I said before, I got a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs, and I'm paying $400 a month in rent, which is phenomenal. So we don't have to move. It's just to get the space that we want for her family to come down and everything else. Renting is $1,400 to $1,700 in this area. Housing prices have gone through the roof because we were looking at a very nice place not far off 58, about 2 miles off 58, Brian. And he told us he still had a lot of work to do. He was looking around 200,000, and the house had new everything. He said, I've had people stop and offer me 215, and he couldn't take it because he didn't know how much work he had left to do to get it the way he wanted it. And if they're already offering 215, because I mean, this was just the first time, so I don't think he was playing it up. He just literally had too much left to do before he could even quote a hard price.
We had a realtor drive through the neighborhood last week, week before, and just giving everybody their card, asking this if they would sell their house. And we're like, no, we're good. We just moved.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. Other than I mean, see, Diecast is in a much more metropolitan area than I am, so of course his prices are going to be 2 to 3 times for the same equivalent houses. But it's completely just gone crazy down here too.
Hey, Don, in California, your house would be like $700K.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. Now, we've got 3 bedrooms upstairs. 2 of them are kind of small, but they're perfect for like guest rooms, a room for her to set up as a home office for teletherapy visits and stuff. The 3rd room is mine. I've already claimed it, but she gets all the other closets. So that's how that works out. And then the downstairs is it's 3/4 of a finished downstairs, and it is just a phenomenal basement. And the good thing is most of her stuff from her house will move right in for us to start using. So a lot of the basement will be my stuff until I can get everything sorted. Oh, and before I forget, I would like to go tonight first, Brian, on what we got this week, if I could, please.
Sure. And Diecast, it looks like the house that I was telling you about. Actually, it was 515, and it looks like it's contingent, but it was an awesome house.
I was gonna say that was the same price as the house I was looking at. Did it have a pool?
No.
Okay. It's not
it's on a 3-acre lot. No, this isn't it. That's not the house. That's still on.
You know what's funny is I don't look. My wife still looks.
You guys totally need to move here. We just did a drive to Kings Mountain last week. If she wanted to commute, she could.
Yeah, what town are you again? That's the town we were looking in.
Oh, I'm in Troutman. Kings Mountain is where her business is.
I'm pretty sure maybe it wasn't. I can't remember if the house was in that or not.
So Kings Mountain is probably about 40 minutes from here. I mean, it's not the easiest drive. I mean, it's an easy drive in the sense that it's mostly, like 2 roads, but it's not the most fun drive. But there
Hey,
is
John.
a movie drive-in theater there. Hello, John.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, John, have you been doing the 6-inch classified figures or no?
No, I am eating on air though.
That's fine.
No, I'm not. I'm not collecting that, but I feel for everyone who is.
Hey, Diecast, this house that I just put in the the internal chat, how much would that be where you live? And I know this real estate talk is wonderful for our pre-show folks, but
Probably double.
yeah,
Oh, that is beautiful.
yeah.
Let me see if I can find the house.
Chris, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, I'm going to link to Ben for the premium finish thing. Quote, unquote, premium finish. That Magnus.
Well, at least by now we don't expect anything better.
Yeah. So I saw that you guys were talking about in the Discord earlier, tfradio.net/Discord if you're not participating.
And you should be.
And you should be. Earlier today, you were talking about like not finding, being thankful you didn't find like a stray Grindor.
Yeah.
That's so the luck I've had this weekend: stray Grindor and 3 stray Dracodons.
Oops.
Yeah. Oops, all
Well,
Dracodons.
Can make you feel worse, though. Apparently, Core Class Soundwave was on Hasbro Toy Shop eBay store this morning
Nice.
and is gone now.
Why? What?
So
They
is
also-
he hard to find or something? Or, I mean, obviously he instantly sells, but I mean, is that
Yeah.
basically it? That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That
For
hurts
now.
my head. Just why would it go to eBay first?
Because the fulfillment center that services that got some in,
Yeah.
they added several new things. I also heard there was wing fingers up on there for $10 each for a
Yeah.
while.
I saw that.
What?
Dang.
Wow.
They're not there anymore.
Clearly
Yeah, I
not.
thought that was supposed to be clearance stuff. The stuff that went on.
Not
mean-
necessarily. They have Kingdom Wheeljack up there too, but that's $23 marked down from the original price of $2,300.
Wait, is that a pre-order?
No,
Or-
Kingdom
No.
Wheeljack is part of Wave 3.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that's Wave with tracks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Cybertron toys, and I can't wait to see how y'all incorporate Metroplex, Stripticon, Fortress Maximus, and Scorponok into a real estate conversation. Here's my incorporation. Since moving from my old house to my new house, they have yet to come out of storage. They're still boxed up.
I need something big enough for both my
me-
Unicrons.
Me too for Fortress Maximus and Metroplex, and that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, like I think they're right behind me actually in a big box full of newspaper and tape.
I can't find the house my wife showed me.
Yeah, you need to move.
Yeah, but part of the problem is
You can sell your
Job.
house.
get job.
Everybody's doing work from home now. You could totally find a job. You'd have to find a job. I don't think your job probably isn't going to move you. But
I could. I just don't know.
cost of living is lower here. I don't know how that would translate to you.
Exactly.
Getting a different job. It's not like, oh yeah, cost of living is lower. You can get a job that pays less. Like screw that. But still, it's true. Cost of living is less here. At Man of the Town says, I'm sleepy. Well, Monster Hydro.
Play some.
Yeah, I found a seller that had Kingdom Tracks for $28.99 with free shipping, and by the time I was trying to get it into my cart, and by the time I got it into my cart to check out, it had sold out.
Boo.
Why don't you check Best Buy, Don? Because if there is one near you, I don't know, but they had tracks available for $20.
Yeah, you have to do it store pickup though. They won't ship it.
Yeah, why is that? That's the first time I've seen that.
Because their website's fulfillment center doesn't have any. So basically what's going to happen is wherever there is that available, to get to a store near you, they're going to use their internal network of moving inventory around to get it to a nearby location.
And that's more expensive than anything else, basically. So you're costing them money.
It's just I've never shopped on Best Buy's website where it was always either ship to home or pick up in the store, like ready immediately pick up in the store. I've never seen that option before. This is the first time that I've seen that. So it was
you can
kind
pick it
of
up in 7 days. I should have one from GameStop tomorrow, though. So
okay, Brian, I got a question for you.
Don, yes,
actually for you and John. Why, in the name of all of the video game gods, is that Atari thing that's just now come out $400?
Didn't you say you wanted that like a year ago?
I did, but at the time there was no price given.
What were you expecting? So the hardware is okay. It looks nice, but the software is stuff that you can get elsewhere. There's really no compelling reason to own it, except to say that you own a new Atari.
Because I was trying to read through it, and the description, I'm just wondering what is in that makes them think it's worth $400.
The name. And that they're hoping that there are people like me who would want it because it's a joke. And I'd be willing to spend, $400 for I bought an Atari. But I'm not interested in it, so I imagine there's not many other people that are.
I mean, is there? I haven't seen a list of games. So it's a plug and play system, right?
No,
but
it's a video game system. It's more. Think of it more like a set top box. I think it's Android based, but it may be Windows based, and I'm just confusing it. I don't remember. I looked at the specs, but it has there's custom UI, but the hardware is not very exotic.
But there's no games on it.
Yeah, it's got games. You got to buy games. I'm pulling up the specs real quick. Okay,
there was a lot of development that went into it.
It's AMD, so it's not Android. It's a custom Linux OS. So it's probably like a derivative of like Ubuntu or something. Sorry, Diecast.
No, that's fine. I was just saying, I know they were working on it for a long time. There was a lot of development.
It has expandable
I'm
RAM.
sorry. Okay, here's the thing that sums it up. So, okay, question and answer on the FAQ. So at $400 it comes with 0 games. Is that right? Not correct. The Atari VCS comes with Atari Vault preloaded, which contains about 100 games. Using the included Chrome browser, you also access to all the games on Stadia.
Yeah.
Sad trombone.
Yeah. You should also be able to use Luna as well, I would think, the Amazon service. I'll be honest with you. When Luna worked, it was pretty stellar. When it worked. It choked up, and crashed. After the first time it did that, I'm like, screw it, I'm done. But like when it was working well, it was pretty impressive. I never tried Stadia. Microsoft, though, has their own Game Pass platform like that I have for free with Game Pass that I should try out.
Yeah, any interest I had in that just went out the window across the street and got hit by a bus.
Yeah, I mean, it's the name. And also, it has a joystick that it looks like the old joystick. Like, playing a game with that just makes my knuckles hurt.
I have a $25 plug-and-play Atari 6 that I got on clearance at Walmart that has all of the... Yeah, I have all the games that I pretty much, other than a couple of licensed games like Zaxxon, and I have that on the plug-and-play ColecoVision.
There you go. That's all you need.
Yeah, you're not the target audience for this, Don. Brian is.
I don't know that there is a target audience.
Okay, maybe not you specifically, but people like you are the target audience.
Yeah, I had to explain to somebody. I mean, I don't know how I got into this discussion, but it was so I had to try to explain Zaxxon to somebody, and it was like, I said, okay, you know the game River Raid from the Atari? Yeah, I know that one. Okay, take it and turn it 45 degrees at an angle. And I think I confused him, but that's the best way I could explain Zaxxon.
I get it. So it's like it goes from like back, forward facing or whatever to like isometric. Sort of isometric.
Oh, I saw the...
Don is explaining Zaxxon. Drink.
No, I stopped by Target today because I was trying to find Chris and everyone a slug.
Thanks
and
for trying.
They didn't. Yeah, they didn't have anything other than the Gundams I was telling Rob about before you came on board. Some new frame sets. But
yeah, the Zaku F2 wave of G frame is out in the wild. So
well, damn.
But they did have 3 sets of the Skeletor, the Origin Revelations set. Yeah, which is the first time I've seen that. And it's like, well, I would get one for somebody if they needed it, but the lines are like literally from their front checkouts into their clothing department, and I'm on lunch.
It's the Skeletor, the Skull God.
No. It's the classic He-Man 2-pack with Keldor and
those are showing
Skeletor head.
Yeah,
okay.
I even saw those.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
My Target has stacks of them.
So what's besides the Zaku F2, what's in the new wave of G armor?
Rob, you tell him because I butchered it. I know.
I mean, that
I'm
could be
trying to
entertaining,
remember
but
that.
sure.
Yeah, they also had the prototype Gundam and rollout Gundam from the sound of things from the previous wave. But
Was the rollout Gundam in the previous wave?
Yeah, proto and rollout both are in that wave.
Is it just me or is Rob breaking up?
Sorry, I was a little bit away from my microphone. I have been kind of cutting out a lot.
It's digital. It's like bandwidth related.
He sounds fine to me.
Okay, maybe it might be me because Chris was doing the same thing at the same time, so it could just be me.
Maybe.
I heard it a little bit.
Thanks, Skype.
GPO 1FB, Buster Gundam, and both colors of Zaku F2.
That's the new wave.
Yeah.
Well, the Zakus might be neat if I could ever find them.
I have a pretty good ping, so
I have the box for this pre-ordered at BBTS, so whatever extra Zakus I have, I will set aside for you.
Oh, cool! Thank you.
Okay, because we've got at the Target in town has both the minty lime green and the black and white one.
We good to go?
Yeah,
this?
Sure.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to mention to Rob. Basically, I saw the Aegis for the first time when I was at Target yesterday, and that sure is.
Yeah, I'm going to get stuck with the Buster Gundam for the in this wave, but I'm not too interested in seed stuff generally.
I mean,
Thinking
if I'm getting extra Zaku's off, you like throw the Buster in there too, I guess.
Okay, sure. And I'm kind of thinking about the wave after that at some point because it's Blue Destiny 1, Ifrit Custom, Gym Command Space, and Blitz Gundam.
Well, I'm all of that, but the Blitz sounds really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Damn, I don't need to collect this stuff. Anyway, let's start the show
Yeah,
so
let's do
Brian
it.
doesn't get sad.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 734. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have everybody this week, don't we? We have Chris,
Yes.
John,
Yo.
Dawn,
Hello.
Diecast,
I'm here.
Rob,
Hi.
and Matt.
Hey.
Yeah. Nice. Oh man. Okay. Gosh, there's last week was a pretty full week. It was our JD special. I came into sad news. I don't know if anybody else saw this. I probably shouldn't break this news to you on this show because it's kind of cruel, but I learned that last month, at the end of May, JD's cat Ravage passed away. Pollux is still around, but Ravage had health issues, and he made it 12 years, so that's pretty good for a cat with heart issues.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Yeah, I learned that today. So, was it Ravage or Pollux that? Well, we don't know. I guess that was the last thing to happen with JD that shocked us all. Was like a month after he passed, his Twitch went live, and it turns out his cat had stepped on his keyboard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was either Ravage or Pollux one. So, yeah, but that's sad news. But hey, that's one way to start the show. There's really, I like using this time up front to talk about stuff that's going on, plug things that's going to happen. But, we're still kind of living in pandemic protocol. Not that things are locked down like they were, but like I'm still having a hard time adjusting to quote unquote normal life.
Well, I mean, it is July. We should be talking about STC being right around the corner, and we don't have an STC this year.
There's no SDCC.
Right?
Yeah, I guess that's right. We're supposed to have a toy fair makeup date, though, aren't we? Wasn't that suggested back in February?
I'm pretty sure that got canceled
Boo. Okay.
far earlier.
There's just it. That's why, like, I think it feels weird, at least for me, because I'm like we're in this July hype where things are supposed to be, coming out soon, like the arc that I keep waiting for that I'm dying to
that's coming,
get.
isn't it?
But it's not quite like it usually starts showing up in the beginning of July, whatever Titan figure. And there have been a couple people who have gotten their hands on one, but I don't know if it's directly from any US seller. But then we would have like San Diego Comic-Con, and we'd be talking about exclusives that are coming out for San Diego Comic-Con. So there's a couple of things missing this time of year right now.
Yeah. So, and I'm just sorry. I'm just laughing because in the Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, you should go. Paladin posted a link to one of the knockoff defamation things. Like, looks like a 4th party or an 18th party or whatever, but like a knockoff of a 3rd-party Devastator for 12 cents.
Yeah, those orders are getting canceled.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what?
I just ordered one. I'll let you know
I'll do it.
because it's Bruticus. I have the real set
Whoa,
of
that's
that.
brutal.
Yeah, but
No,
I placed the order, so I'm gonna wait and see.
That is the
Matt,
one
the
Iron Factory.
the Matt and I have that one as well. I think you do. Yeah, you did too.
Yep. I was just trying to put my finger on it, and I'm like, yeah, that's the Iron Factory.
And I'm going to use my
knockoff.
Amazon Prime Rewards Visa rewards points. So I am paying $0.00. So
I'm gonna pay 12 cents, and I'm not even angry if I don't get my 12 cents back.
yeah, we'll see.
I'll try it too.
Great.
Okay, so yeah, okay. Hasbro. We mentioned Hasbro Pulse Con last week. I don't think we did. So that was announced. That may have been announced this week. So that's
Yeah, I think that
happening
was
this.
after the show last week.
Yeah, that's happening this fall. That's something.
Is that the virtual one again?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think they've probably learned a lot from the last one, and it should be pretty fun.
The last one was we got reveals, which is what
Yeah.
we always want. So that was good.
That was basically the stand-in for New York Toy Fair. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a little cheesy, but it wasn't terrible.
Oh, the Ghostbuster stream was
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
I missed it. That's when I think I left to go get lunch for something. Yeah. Actually took I kind of like a convention. I actually took days off of work for that.
Well, you won't make that mistake this year.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, actually, if I'm not participating in it, I can pretty much just do it while I'm working from home. So, okay. What else? Anything else? TFCon. I think those of us who are considering going, some of us have tickets. Some of us don't.
It's October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm like 85% sure. I just have to get a room now at this point. Good luck. We'll see how that goes. Speaking of good luck, I'm waiting for a cancellation email from Amazon, but I haven't gotten one yet.
Well,
I decided to roll the dice too. I ordered 30 of them.
Really?
Yeah, it's still under $4. So.
Chris got his $5.
Oh no! Don't
calorie.
spoil it. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
I would have bought one.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. It's actually even better.
Yeah, I don't know about this, so I want to hear it when the time is appropriate.
Oh no, you won't.
Okay.
I mean, he won't care about the subject matter, but it's an entertaining story.
Cool. Okay. I got nothing else. Let's just jump into the news. Sort of
No, Manny, I don't think anybody on the show actually got the $10 wing fingers.
No, I didn't. I sure didn't.
I don't. It's not a site I regularly check. I don't check Hasbro Pulse on eBay, which is what they still call, or Hasbro Toy Shop on eBay. They don't even call it Hasbro Pulse on eBay. It's still listed as Hasbro Toy Shop.
I check it pretty regularly, but like at varied times of the day, and these went really fast when they went in, so
Yeah.
stuff like that's kind of easy to miss.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, I want to jump to the news because I don't know what to think about this other than I do like it. We got a look on Transformers Tuesday of Generation Select's Galvatron.
It's so beautiful.
I agree. I love it.
It is.
But there's an opportunity cost that we could have gotten, something else instead
Like
of this. We could have gotten Anime Color, or we could have gotten there was like a really nice Anime Color eHobby one that came out that looked really,
which was not actually in the colors of the cartoon,
but it looked really nice though. It was beautiful.
It was the same kind of pink end of purple that say the Legends
Very
Type
lavender
version.
yeah.
It was not. It was. You could tell what they were trying to do, but they got all of the colors incorrect, so it wasn't that nice.
I was going to say that they could do, but they still could do like an Energon Megatron.
Yeah, I don't think they will, but sure.
No, that's what they should have done with the Shattered Glass Megatron. Is just waited and used the Galvatron mold instead, because that's basically the colors.
Yeah, but then we'd be paying $78 for it.
But yeah, I'd actually buy it though.
But this, I really like it, but most people seem to hate it.
Oh, well, okay, so I think the big thing causing a negative reaction is all the obvious stickers on there, which we actually first saw this Monday night. I discovered the first few stock photos just by chance looking for other things. And we had that up on tfradio.net/news. At the time, though, we weren't sure whether those were going to be factory-applied stickers or an extra sticker sheet. The product copy that came out seems to indicate that all the foil sticker elements are going to be user optional. So those don't have to go on if they offend you, and they appear to offend a lot of people and the people who don't know or didn't find out since that's optional are primarily having the negative reactions.
So, I mean, just the fact that we have them bothers me in one sense. One, I do a horrible job of putting them on, but also we've learned that the factory does a horrible job of putting foil stickers on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're screwed either way.
I'm only offended if the factory puts them on. If I have to do it, I don't mind it that much.
The things that are getting about this, besides the stickers, are the fact that the belt part is not painted, and the horns on the helmet seem to be in purple as opposed to gray. And in which case, it's just about close enough to Energon Megatron as it is. But
That's true.
I just, if I'm gonna have a toy Galvatron, it's just let's just get all the little things right. And there's just a couple that aren't, and they're bugging me.
It was weird too how this came up on Tuesday, because I got an email from Big Bad Toy Store that it was available for pre-order. So I was like, "Oh, cool! Let me go to Hasbro Pulse." Oh, it's not there.
They were
So
a little behind.
Yeah, they were a little behind. So the Transformer
Like an hour or two
Tuesday,
behind. Yeah.
Yeah, it was announced by Big Bad Toy Store for me. That's how I saw it in my emails, because I was like, "Oh, good, it's available." Oh, it's not on Hasbro Pulse. So I was like, for a couple minutes, I was like, "What is going on here?" Like,
That's all right. You'll get it about a month faster from Big Bad Toy Store.
well, no, I still waited and ordered from Hasbro Pulse. I'm paying for the membership, so
Yeah, you might as well.
I might as well.
When did Galvatron really have access to or go after the creation matrix?
In the Transformers the movie adaptation, at no other time.
Oh, so so it was colored like the creation matrix was in.
Actually, I think it's the other way around. So when the creation matrix was originally introduced in the comics, it was software in Optimus Prime's head.
Yeah.
And then after Transformers the movie, the animated version, and the comic adaptation, which presented it in the comics as a physical object, from then forward, it became a physical thing in the comics, and I think they carried the coloring forward from that.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
the
ties with my memory. Yeah.
yeah, the Matrix in the comic adaptation was just a green, undefined blob.
It gets more defined as it goes on, but when they started doing it, they obviously had no idea what they were actually rendering.
And also, a lot of people are calling this like Galvatron 2 from Marvel G1, that one Rhythms of Darkness episode that was the what if future, where they use it to bring Galvatron back to the current past by Unicron, with hook, line, and sinker starting off that ramp up to 75.
Yes.
So I remember some of that.
Yeah, I mean, you could call this Marvel Comics Galvatron as much as you could call the G1 toy Marvel Comics Galvatron.
That's fair.
That's fair. Same stores.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I pre-ordered it.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I want it. It feels like it's a missed opportunity. But Chris, to your point earlier, like a missed opportunity for what?
Yeah. I mean, if you showed me like a pitch document from Hasbro that somebody leaked through their Chinese smartphone or something, and it showed that like there's a checkbox over two things. One of them is this Galvatron, the other was say powered convoy Earthrise Ultra Magnus or Kingdom Ultra Magnus, and this Galvatron got the check mark instead, I'd be a little bit irritated by that. But like in the absence of something obvious that this got made and the other thing didn't, like, no, I mean, what would it be otherwise?
Yeah.
I can tell you what this was a missed opportunity for. This was a missed opportunity for my Shattered Glass Jetfire or Skyfire to be announced on.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I know exactly why that didn't get announced this week. So
why?
So last week they had the Jurassic Park collaboration set, which it has a sticker price of $104.99. Now, we've heard through reliable grapevine sources that Shattered Glass Jetfire is going to also be about $100. So very clearly, they wanted to space out their reveals of $100+ exclusive niche interest items. So they put a $50 Galvatron in the middle of them, and we'll probably see Shattered Glass Jetfire next week or the week after.
What about
Makes
T-Rex?
sense.
He's been on Target.com for weeks.
Well, that's on Target's schedule to announce.
Boo.
He doesn't come out till the 25th, or he
That's
doesn't
what I heard. Yeah.
pre-order till the 25th.
Boo.
Yeah.
Boo. Okay. Any other thoughts on that? No. Diecast put a couple things in. Like, Diecast, like, is it okay if I put this in the show notes? Yes, of course.
Well, it's third-party stuff, so half the time we shoot them down.
And it is diecast.
Yeah,
So
So, Diecast, I don't get this. It says, I'll read what you put in. Fans Toys FTO2 is now Robot Paradise RPO1. Like, I know
Yes, this is their Soundwave. So
Fans Toys changed their name.
Fans Toys changed the name for this figure, just like they did with Cesium when they changed it to Perfect Fusion, when they did that slag figure. So
what am I missing? What am I missing? What's
what
the
this
joke?
probably is they're releasing it under a different name because they're worried about pressure from Hasbro Takara.
Because
Yeah,
it's
this-
such an iconic character?
no,
Yeah.
well, see, Brian, this is the Soundwave that they were originally going to come, or in the same vein. This is the Masterpiece Soundwave they were going to come out with back right before Takara announced Masterpiece Soundwave in the Takara line, and then it was dropped and never seen again.
Oh, so this never came out.
Yeah. This,
Although I believe it's been completely redesigned since then.
yeah, but I'm just saying this is probably the skeleton is there because I mean they even I think they had an actual prototype. It was an actual real prototype and not a render that they showed off. And then not long after that, Takara announced the real Takara MP Soundwave, and then they just did not do their Soundwave at all.
They shelved it. It was redesigned. It was still going to be FT02 because they had that as a placeholder, and now they're deciding to change the name either to make it go through a little bit easier. Probably, I don't know if there has been pressure from Takara about this figure, or they just are doing this to try and alleviate some pressure, maybe as like a precautionary thing. But it's obviously Fans Toys.
So two things. One, unsurprisingly, it's already sold out. Two, the cassette door. Is this going for? I mean, the cassette door is like missing some detailing. That
Well,
to
there
me,
should be an optional one you can switch in because like there's you can display this toy inspired or cartoon inspired, and the toy one has the door detailing.
yeah, but like maybe I'm missing it. But like what they're showing there is the swap out part doesn't look like. Oh, there it is. That still doesn't look right to me necessarily.
the
I
the
would-
one
Well, the
with
head
the
won't either.
detailing on it. Yeah, I can agree with you. I think maybe because it doesn't have the insignia on the center of the chest, which may be what's throwing it off a little bit.
Hmm.
Because
I mean,
they're
the
usually
shape of the chest door seems a little bit weird, which I think is due to leaning into the cartoon styling more than the toy styling.
yeah. I can agree with that.
I do like. I like the toy head though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And the way that the panels flip around on the legs to get that toy look, I think is really cool on this figure. I can tell you, I pre-ordered this from Taobao, and I'm not paying $250 for mine. Mine's going to be about, I pay about $100 less by pre-ordering from Taobao. So
It's just Fans Toys. No matter what their shape, everything is selling out. It's been selling out ever since even before Thomas came out. And it's only getting worse.
Yeah, I mean it's like the housing market, the baseball card market, and everything. It's just
Well, I'm
With
worried
all demand.
about because they actually now have physical prototype. I haven't opened show notes Diecast, but they actually finally showed a physical version of their Trailbreaker for the first time in 4 years. We have a physical thing of the Trailbreaker now. That's probably going to sell out before I can even get a pre-order in.
yeah, I think it did. They go up for pre-order in the U.S.? I know I've got mine pre-ordered through Taobao.
I haven't seen it anywhere as of yet.
Okay, because they actually not only they did that, but they showed a great prototype of Hoist.
Well, I've got X Transbots Peon, PEA. I don't know. Anyway, I've got X Transbots Hoist, but I never bought any of the Trailbreakers because none of them looked right to me.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for this Fans Toys to come out. Now I'm worried I won't get one to have an MP Trailbreaker on the shelf.
No, Don, you can always talk to me. I'll make sure you get one.
Aw.
We'll talk after the show.
Good to have a friend in China.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to let Don suffer.
I mean, Trailbreaker is one of my favorite characters, so
Yeah.
I really want a good representation of him. The X Transbots Hoist looks great. I love it. Their Trailbreaker just did not look right to me.
I got you covered.
Cool. Okay. Diecast this next item. I still can't get the link to come up, so you're going to have to just tell us about it.
Okay. Hopefully everyone else can get the link to come up in this show. This is a Dr. Wu collaboration with MechFan Toys. And it also has the label of Mechanic Studio on it, which we thought Mechanic Studio and MechFan Toys were the same company or similar or related, however these third-party company goes. But this is collaborated with Dr. Wu for an RC figure, which is pretty cool that they're teaming up. Dr. Wu's been knocking out some stuff. Like, I got some stuff shipping. I got a little mini Optimus Prime with trailer and everything that I'm assuming is in the same scale as that little tiny Galvatron that I got from them and the Soundwave. And so they have a whole bunch of little tiny figures coming out that I really like. And they're not that expensive. They're pretty cheap to obtain. I'm assuming because this is MechFan Toys, it's going to be in the same. I use the Legend scale size.
Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah. So, and from the photos, it's a shame that people can't see it on the screen. It looks pretty good. For that size RC, it doesn't seem to have like an overbearing backpack or anything like that. So yeah, just another third-party figure that's kind of, I'm excited about, and it's just a weird collaboration that's going on right now.
So Gus in the chat, tfradio.net/Discord, link this to what Big Bad Toy Store's offering of that. So
yeah, and they're saying it's by Dr. Wu also, but it's actually, I think it's going to be produced under MechFan Toys or Mechanic Studio, and it's a Dr. Wu design.
So my browser screen share isn't optimized for Big Bad's site. So, but if you're looking, you sort of get an idea what it looks like.
And again, it looks good. I mean, Don, what do you think on this? You're the.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm kind of RC'd out.
Ooh.
I've got the Master
This
P.
is a robot pretending to be Don.
No, I'm saying
we have to figure out what's wrong. I need to text Christy and say, "Are you in trouble?"
Okay. No. The thing is, I've got Masterpiece RC. I have the Titans Return version. I have the Fans Toys Rouge figure, and there's been several, like some of the Perfect Effect stuff. Some of them have looked really good, but I have pretty much all the other than Headmaster. I have all the versions of regular RC that I think I really need. And again, the Titans Return is the Headmaster, but I'm talking about if they did RC as a plus, and somewhere in that Masterpiece RC there is some way to make it a Headmaster for the plus version, then of course I want to get that. But regular RC, I'm pretty good on, even though that is mostly Earthrise and it's not the best. But I'm good. I'm good. I think it looks
Kingdom Dawn is so much better.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah, artwork swap. Like when Chris looked at that, and I said, "Chris, are they the same figure? They just swapped the artwork." And you looked and you said, "Yep." But yeah. So I think it looks good, but I'm kind of at a point where it needs to be Masterpiece, Takara, or a good third party Headmaster RC, and I'm done.
Cool. I don't have any.
When I was out yesterday looking for slag and not getting one, everywhere I went was just full of Kingdom RCs and almost nothing else. That's gonna be stacked up. That's gonna have to be our shelf warmer event for this season, probably, if these don't clear out pretty soon.
Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. Elf on a toy shelf, or elf on a shelf warmer.
Shelf warmer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Blade just came up with a really interesting concept. What would Pretender RC look like? Her shell could be like from Only Human, and it be the small Legends class figure inside.
Nice.
That is brilliant.
I love it. Okay. Last news item. I'm not even going to show this. I'm not even going to show it. I'm just going to cry and complain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we have did we already know what they're going to be? We have photos now if we did.
So, like a week ago, Big Bad Toy Store put up listings with no pictures, which was our first confirmation that this was going to be this. But if you remember back when the Premium Finish thing popped up in the first place, somebody on the T-Formers message boards basically figured out what seems to be an accurate guess of the entire run of these, and these were the third batch, yes.
So, 2007 movie Megatron. Yeah, I mean that's okay if that's your thing.
The Studio Series
Yeah,
one.
yeah, of course, yeah. The other though, God, I hate this mold. I'm so tired of it. So is that Siege or is that?
Yeah,
that's Siege.
Yeah, Siege.
That's
Wasn't
Siege.
yeah,
Siege.
yeah, not Earthrise, definitely. So Siege, Ultra Magnus. I mean, it's
the worst looking one yet.
yeah.
Yes, taking battle damage to a whole new level.
Yeah, the whole cab robot now is just like
Gray.
Yeah, burned. He's been on fire, apparently.
Yeah. It's
I guess somebody else was sick and old too.
I mean, it's not even anything. It's not an improvement. There's nothing premium about this figure but the price.
It's not accurate to anything either.
no.
The Netflix show.
I mean, Netflix is dark. I mean, it's
Yeah, it might have just been a misinterpretation of everything being, cast in shadows.
yeah. So, yeah.
The Megatron looks nice, though.
I'm really trying to get everything that is generations and generations adjacent. So this falls into that. And it's really hurting thinking about this.
I mean, the only thing I will say is that if you couldn't find a copy of any other Magnus at all, you've got another shot. So congratulations.
Yeah, if you didn't have an Ollie's that had 7,000 of these in a
If you
blind
haven't been
box.
tripping over some version of this mold for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 years exactly.
Yeah.
And still no Diaclone version for those of y'all who want a Diaclone.
Yes,
I just want to run battle damage.
Yes, I was going to let that one go this evening, Dawn, but thanks for bringing that up.
Can
Sorry.
I sign up for this? How much is it going to be? Like $85?
$60, $56 roughly. That's the retail.
That's not too bad since the Voyagers were going for 53.
Yeah, the Magnus probably actually is going to be higher than that because it's a liter. Voyager cost is around $55.
Oh,
from
okay.
Takara. So, yeah, probably about $85 for
Oh
this.
God.
Yeah. Sign me up. Take my money now. It's,
Big Bad Toy Store had pre-orders, and probably if these have been officially revealed, they're probably on Pulse now or will be within a day or so.
Yeah, they weren't the last time I checked.
Yeah, I'm at BBTS right now, and they just have Bumblebee Optimus, the Siege Megatron, the Siege Optimus, and pick a Bumblebee. It's that one.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. This may just be like the straw that breaks the camel's back. I just may not be able to do this one.
I mean, you got the Netflix release, right?
But this isn't the same release. This is different.
No, this is the worst one, and you don't need it.
Well, there may be one upside, guys. Possible upside is if this is going back on the production line to be run again, maybe they'll do a Diaclone version.
I don't want the
for
Diaclone of this. I would want the Diaclone of Kingdom.
Yeah, the Kingdom.
Right.
Well, I'm just saying if we have no other way of getting it, with this being back on the line, maybe I'm trying to find something positive about this.
I know.
But see, Brian, I think you do need this so you can like set them up next to each other and just to like see the descent in quality.
Oh yeah,
as they go along.
I could buy that.
Anyway,
Okay.
I would take the Siege Molden powered convoy colors if it came down to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that was the only option I was given, yes, but I'm not
Yeah.
even given
No
that
battle
option.
damage though. No battle. No.
Yeah, I was about to
No
say
battle
power
damage.
convoy, but no battle damage. Yes.
Well, we know how this monkey's paw works. I'm sorry, gentlemen. It's
Yeah.
going to be battle damage dealt of Magnus.
Oh yeah, we're definitely doomed.
Yeah,
Okay. Hey, let's move to what we got this week. Don wanted to
I'll
go
go
first.
first.
I thought Don wanted to go first.
Well,
I would
Don
like-
get a vote.
I would like to, please.
Okay,
Don
fine.
called dibs.
It's rare for me to get a mainline toy before a lot of you. Third party, yeah, but it's rare for me to get a mainline. Okay, starting off with off topic.
Oh, I know what this is, and I hate you, don't I?
I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I know what it is too because I saw on Twitter what you
Yeah.
got.
Off topic, thanks to Preternia on Twitter and tfradio.net/Amazon. I got the Mandarin Spawn for $11 shipped. I'm not a big McFarlane fan. I've always liked the Mandarin Spawn design. I've always liked the colors. It's half price. I'll take it.
So that's an Iron Man toy.
No, Spawn.
Oh, you said Mandarin.
I'm sorry,
No.
Mandarin Spawn. I'm sorry.
So if did you have to Dononomics that, or because it was half price?
It was already half price. I wasn't going to worry about it. Next thing I got was a little weird, and I got this in the mail from a place called Sports Zone Toys and Comics, located in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. I don't know this store. I've never heard of this store. I have never bought anything from this store as far as I can find. I have no transaction record.
Dawn,
Yes.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Okay, Matt. I appreciate that. I got Reaction Starscream.
Nice.
Yeah, he's one I did not have because everyone I've seen was like a bad card, and that's just really nice. So thank you, Matt. If that was you, I do appreciate that. I just could not figure out where it came from.
It was off the Massey Attack list.
Okay, all right. Well, I went to Amazon. It was like I have no record of buying this on because it would have to be fairly cheap off retail for me to get it. Just playing Russian roulette with a card, since the card is what I was looking for, and it's unpunched too. So, Matt, thank you very much.
Correct.
I appreciate that. Picked up the Sparkless Seeker mold. Wasn't planning on it, but I'll be honest, the Sparkless drone turned out so nice with that.
Well, it used to be nice.
Yeah. The Netflix Sparkless Dotson brother, it just turned out to be so nice with that paint and that wash on it. I decided
You're
to go.
First person I've heard that said that turned out nice.
Well, I'm just saying I haven't taken it out of the box yet, but
No,
I'm just saying,
I'm not talking about the Seeker. I was talking about the Tetson.
Oh,
No, the deco effect on the Dotson is nice.
Yeah,
Just
I mean it's something different, and it's still a Dotson brother, but it's nicer than I thought it would be, and the pattern and the texturing and stuff on it really adds a little bit to the figure. So I'm glad that's why I got that one. But the big thing I got this week, when I was there getting Massey food, I looked down and saw hey,
Was this at
they
Walmart, Don?
Yeah, it was at Walmart.
That's amazing.
It said, hey, they got the Netflix slag.
Netflix slag.
I'm saying, I was telling
Studio
myself,
Studio
yeah,
Series.
this
86.
is- yeah, no, I was saying is, I saw the net. I said, hey, they got. I'm talking to myself as I tend to do.
Mhm.
Hey, they got the net slag, and I stopped and I thought, okay, I'm seeing things because I saw a Grimlock there a few weeks ago, and I thought the same thing. No, I have Studio Series slag.
And you actually opened it. It's a miracle.
It looks nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
I
does.
opened it. I specifically took time last night so I could talk about it on the show.
How is it?
Like I said, it's rare that I get a mainline toy before y'all. He's good, but he has flaws.
What?
Yes, he does have a few flaws. One, the tail storage for the gun is nice. That way, it makes it, the colors don't quite match up, but it does look like it makes sense than just sticking it on the back like you do for Grimlock. He looks good in dinosaur mode. He's got a good heft to him. There's some good work on it. There's some very interesting engineering as far as the legs, kind of like third-party Masterpiece on Dinobots diecast, where the legs condense and then rotate into the shins, so you don't have them stuck on the side. The flaws come from the back half not being very sturdy while transforming. The wing panels will pop off. They're just on friction. They're on friction hinges, and they popped off on me twice a piece, just trying to get them lined up. The tail, I'll try to show it here. If you look right there, that gray bar between the two things that on the G1 toy were his toes, that gray bar there has two tabs at an angle. The slots.
Hey, Don, can you show it again? Show it again.
Sorry.
Please.
Yeah. See that gray bar right there between the two gold humps?
Yes.
Okay. That has two tabs at an angle going down the side of that gray bar. The slots in the insides of the feet are also at an angle. The problem is getting them lined up to tab the tail into place. So you have to pull the legs apart, tab in one side, and then tab the other side in while you're kind of holding it all together. Otherwise, it pops out and you have to realign that hinge joint to get the tail in there. Also, the legs do a very interesting transformation where they like this, they come up like this, straight, and then the bottom half of the legs come back down. So you don't just do a standard flip back like on the G1 toy. It comes up and then down. Another interesting thing is the arms have a dual hinge here at the shoulders where they come out and then go in for dinosaur mode. So the shoulders end up under the dinosaur head inside the chest. So that way you get everything lined up in dinosaur mode and you don't have it like sticking way off to the side. There's some good ratchet joints. Hang on, so I can't do this. Well, you can't really hear it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I can totally hear those, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's some good ratchet joints in the shoulders. The feet do disappear into the bottom leg, so you don't have the leg sticking off to the side. The tail will pop off, and it's not as bad as the wing hinges, but the connecting point is right there where my thumb is. So if you've got the tail in place, you kind of have to hold everything together with one hand to keep that bar from popping out to pop the tail back on. So you basically just have to keep everything, to borrow a word from a reviewer I watch, you got to keep it squozing. You got to keep it squozing together so that way nothing pops out while you're transforming.
You should send it to the reviewer so they can review it for you.
Yeah. But it's a good toy. It's got its flaws as far as just more irritating little things trying to get lined up. It does look, I didn't have time to get Grimlock in here to do a comparison, but I did last night, and they do look good together in Dino mode and in Robot mode. So he's definitely worth picking up, but he's not like a lot of people have said. The Grimlock is kind of like a mini masterpiece, like a lot of the studio series, like people have said about Hot Rod. I can see this engineering with better plastic and a new masterpiece slag. I think what they're doing at this level works, but it's a little frustrating to get from one to the other, especially on that back half.
Now, Don, don't be silly. This is modern masterpiece we're talking about. The plastic wouldn't be any better at all. It'd probably actually be even more brittle.
Try and be positive, you know, not always possible, but I just try and be positive. But one thing I do like, and this is kind of minor, but important, the toes are there under the tail. So while they do kind of stand out once you realize what you're looking at, they're not up here anymore. These are like fake toes just to meet the show model, the model of the figure. That's actually the toes right there, the feet. But at least they're painted the same gold as the tail, so it does kind of blend, which I just thought was kind of a nice touch. But I can definitely. Well, I mean, you know, it's not like they're gray toes under a gold tail, you know. So there is some at least trying to hide that way.
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, but I can definitely see several third-party kits on this thing filling in. Like here, you know, you've got the gaps in the back.
Oh yeah,
you got the gaps in the feet, like Grimlock did. One thing interesting is on the hands. The hands do just fold down, but they also do a 180 twist. So you pull them out and then twist them 180 for robot mode.
Sounds painful.
And then when you twist them back, they go right back in for Dino mode to be flush. So there's no like panel that you flip a panel down to fold the fist in. The fist just rotate and then go into the slot.
Cool.
Yeah, and as for aftermarket kits, I heard someone say that the horns on the dinosaur head basically can be popped out pretty easily. So I could totally see like a very basic add-on kit being like, yeah, Don's holding one right now. One basic add-on kit could be like, you know, the sword that the toy doesn't come with and like red horns for more toy accuracy, just for one example. Like there's a lot of low investment kind of stuff that could be done with this and probably integrate a little bit better than what we have for Grimlock right now.
Doesn't it come with like a Daniel too that's like the same as the wheelie or something?
Yep.
Oh, it's terrible.
Don just threw it across the room.
Massey's going
well, we'll get an upgrade kit with a new Daniel that actually transforms.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I would not at all be surprised by that, and I might actually go for that, depending what it looks like. I didn't need the wheelie from the Grimlock kit because I have the Titans Return, the Legends version of that, which I think is a perfectly good wheelie toy. And I also have that the GDO, the 2010 Jazz Retool wheelie, which is my favorite ever. But like a good little transforming exosuit toy, like I'd be on board with that because I never got the original Masterpiece Bumblebee that came with one. I've been thinking about that because it can't be that expensive anymore with the newer Bumblebee out and everything. But like, yeah, I would be on board for that just for that exosuit idea. Don, did you do anything else?
No, I just want to say I will be honest that.
Well, no, I just kind of steamrolled over with other conversations. Sorry, Don.
No, it's just I'll be honest though. If I see once I try to help y'all find some, I'm thinking about getting these in a box because I think if we eventually get all 5, I would like to have all 5 of these boxed to go with my. I've got the KOs of the G1s in a box just for display. I think that would look really nice eventually if they do all 5.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from what I'm hearing, they're not all going to be in Studio Series, so the packaging isn't going to match. Well, I mean, it's you know, at least 4 leader class toys, and like, you know, they pulled the Constructicons off, but that was only 2 leaders in that whole batch of toys. So I think, you know, asking them to commit 4 leader spots in one toy line to one.
Oh, definitely, but
is a big ask.
But 5 Dinobots in this scale with this overall aesthetic, would really look good and kind of wash away the Power of the Primes versions, unfortunately.
I liked those Power of the Primes Dinobots when they came out.
I did too. I think I think all of us did. It's just
they're not bad. They're
not
too
bad.
small.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Dinobot-
there's some fragility issues on a couple of them
Yeah.
too. But like that swoop was really nice.
Yeah.
just Dinobot should never be small.
No.
No.
Okay, I'll go next.
Please.
So to pick up from what Diecast was alluding to earlier, last week I talked about the Lightning Collection King Sphinx I got for $10 off of Amazon because I caught a deal in the middle of the night. When I was talking about that, Diecast mentioned that they had pumpkin wrapper from the same Monsters assortment for $15, I think, on Amazon at that time. So I got to thinking about that a little bit later on and went and, well, I have a pumpkin wrapper now. I did not pay $15 for it, though. I posted a screenshot on Twitter, specifically targeted at Diecast because I wanted to make him feel bad. I caught this for $5 in the middle of the night.
How?
I don't know, but I did. Maybe it's
Sweet.
like those knockoff third-party little Combaticons we all just bought a gross of. But I found this for $5. I didn't pay $5 for this because I actually had a promotional Amazon credit from Prime Day. So I still had to pay the sales tax on that because apparently you can't use promotional credit to pay sales tax, but I got this for next to nothing.
Wow.
Nice.
So thanks for putting the idea in my head, Diecast.
I was so jealous when I saw it was $5. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy." But it's back up to like 20.
Yeah, I can't even go to Subway for $5 anymore.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm actually glad someone I know got that deal that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, that. It felt nice. Plus, being $15 in theoretically on the two monsters in this assortment is it is pretty good. Especially since they retail
and the
for
third
$30
monster
each.
looks like garbage. So
Yeah, they revealed Eye Guy during a Fan First Friday recently, and like the sculpt is there on it, but it needs a hell of a lot more paint than they ever could have actually put on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that being said, at least we know from that like there's a lot of customizers in the Power Rangers fan community. People who are good with paint work, and they'll be able to detail that up after the fact and actually bring out what somebody intended that to look like. And that'll be at least nice to see pictures of. I never really cared about Eye Guy as a monster design, so I don't really care either way. Even if it turns up for $5 at some point.
if it turns up for $5, I'll probably get it, but I'm not paying
probably.
$30 for it.
I forgot to bring it in here with me, but I also at Walmart found the current wave of regular Lightning Collection, and I got a Tanga from season 3, which looks I haven't put them side by side with the monster assortment itself, but like it looks bigger, like it's scaled with the monsters instead of being like Ranger height. So it's a pretty big, hefty chunk of plastic in that $20 box. And they got they did like an iridescent effect on some of the paint too, which looks really cool. So I paid full price for that, which seemed like a fair compromise after getting the two $30 toys for like a quarter of their total retail value. So that's my one off-topic thing I have this week. I'll go ahead and mention I got from Matt. This is the 2014 Rhinox because I couldn't immediately find the one I may or may not have, and I wanted to just kind of go ahead and get that taken care of. And Matt certainly didn't want to have this anymore, so got a good deal on that from him. Thank you, Matt.
That looks so much better. Why would you want to get rid of that?
Well, okay, so if I did get rid of my original one, it would have been in like 2015 or 2016 because I just was not really impressed with the Generations Beast Wars toys from that time because like is happening with some of the Beast Wars toys in Kingdom, they're kind of hitting it as color by numbers. There's no spirit to it. Like I feel with the original Beast Wars toys, they're just trying to like match bullet points on a list basically for what it should be, and it doesn't really do it for me. But like I'm on the edge of having a whole season 1 maximal team from Kingdom, and I certainly don't want that Kingdom Rhinox to be my Rhinox representation for that because this is a lot better and is in a similar scale. So
Yes, yeah. I think he's a much better Rhinox.
I mean, it's not like that toy does not have its own issues. Like notoriously, the waist and hip joints are loose on it, and it's like that in virtually every copy. But that can be fixed. There's floor polish that fixes that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Without harming the plastic. But the interesting thing was also in that box, and I opened the box upside down, Matt. So I saw this first, and I don't think that was your intention, but it confused me for a second because it was wrapped in bubble wrap, and I was like, did he throw in 2014 G-Axis also? Because it's sort of similarly colored, isn't it? So a month or so ago, we were talking about knockoff Combiner Wars toys. And among them was a very, very orange, was this Air Raid?
Yeah.
Very, very orange Air Raid, which I now have a copy of thanks to Matt. He slipped me in a little extra gift in the package with Rhinox. Matt, does yours have stress marks at various like hinges and such?
I don't know. He's way over there standing on the shelf. Not that I had noticed.
Yeah, so I like mostly it's in minor places like around the hinges for the stabilizers, but I also found some in the collapsing joints for the knees, which are really tight. So I'm not sure if those started out there or was when I was transforming it a couple times. I actually had to put some shock oil on the hip joints because they were tight and creaky, and I was pretty sure those were going to snap if I didn't do something. I'm going to handle it sparingly because, of course, this is not, normal retail level plastic necessarily. It's pretty good plastic quality for being
for a knockoff,
bootleg,
absolutely. Yeah.
And the color is brilliant. It's not quite a sunstorm, unfortunately, but like this could totally be like, heat stroke or something. Sunspot, I don't know, something like that. Sunburn. He'll be Sunburn.
That's a good name. I like it.
Combiner Wars Sunburn. So that may take up residence on Grand Galvatron. I'll have to see how badly it clashes, and if it doesn't clash badly enough, it'll have to find a different home. So I got an order in from actually I'll hold on to that for a second. So I went on a little hunt for slag. I didn't find slag, but when I stopped at Walmart, I did find the Netflix Voyager. So I got Thundercrapper or Shitstorm, depending. Yeah, I like Thundercrapper as an alternate name. That's pretty good. And I also got the Optimus Primal because I have a problem, and also, well, it's mostly because I have a problem because I like the paint on this, the paint colors that are slightly different to the regular retail version, a little bit better than the regular retail version. So I have this now. I'll probably try to, sell the retail Optimus Primal at some point for a loss because I don't really need to have two of them. So obviously I haven't opened either of those yet. But
are you going to?
Yeah,
I'm not.
I was telling you on Twitter, I think, I still have Hotlink and the Megatron from Wave 1. Hotlink has been open, but only so I could take the blast effect pieces out of the package for use in photos. None of the actual toys have come out of that box yet. I also forgot there's a rat trap in here which exists for reasons I can't fathom, and like the gray is a little bit darker and the copper-ish tan is a little bit lighter, and it's just like slight value changes that don't really add up to anything in total. It's really kind of weird. But, the rat trap's nice. I don't know if I'll stick with this one or the one I already had. So I got my... oh, no. Gotta do one other thing first. I'll get to this eventually, I swear. From Amazon, I got Kingdom Scorponok.
Yeah, he is short. I didn't realize he was going to be that short. Like, they could have just made his legs like a little bit longer to match that big chest, and he would have been fine. He's very misproportioned in person.
Oh, there's a lot of things wrong with this. Like, so the Scorpion mode reminds me a lot of how they do jets, which is to have basically a skin of the vehicle on the topmost surface and then just all the robot piled underneath that. So if you look at it from top down, give or take, you see what looks like a decent jet body. The Scorpion works basically the same way. It has a Scorpion shell on top of it with the tail and everything. Underneath is just all the robot. And it's not even a well-hidden robot, because like the robot head is sticking out where you can see it. One of the legs is jammed up in the middle of the robot chest, which just kind of sits there open. The other leg goes up the back of the tail. I can't imagine that whoever originally designed the transformation for this intended for the robot chest halves to just like sit there basically wide open with parts hanging out of them the way it is. And it seems like at some point along the way, it's just like, okay, it's just going to have to be like this now, because we can't actually make it do what we intended it to do. We had to, change the size or whatever to make the tail work or something. And this is really compromised. The robot mode is not too bad. It is small, like Diecast said. The beast mode is, you could tell they were trying to do something impressive, making it quasi-realistic, but it just kind of all fell apart because of the engineering. It doesn't even make any pretense of standing up on the bug legs in beast mode. It's resting completely on the keel, and you just kind of pose the legs around to look like they're holding the body. The toy from 1996, the original Mega Class Scorponok, is a much better transformer, I would say. And if they hadn't tried to go for realism in the beast mode, like they could have gone for an engineering very similar to that original Beast Wars toy from 25 years ago, and probably had an overall better result at the same complexity and price point as this, and maybe even got something a little bit bigger out of it.
And there is a third-party option, the Transform Element, that
Well,
is...
it's sort of an option. It's actually not available anywhere anymore. Everybody is sold out of it now, because that's apparently how third party goes. And Josh, Wheeljack64, showed me a picture of that and this Scorponok side by side, and it's smaller, and it's shorter and smaller than this.
Yeah.
So like it certainly looks the part better, but like we agreed it would need to be 10 or 20% bigger to really fit in with the Kingdom toys. And while if somebody did a knockoff of it at that larger size and the quality was still okay, I would strongly consider that. As it is, it's not something I'm going to pursue because it's too small for, like, if it was the same height as this and similar build, I would be okay with it, just barely. But I don't want to go smaller than this. The one thing like I kind of unreservedly like is they do have the stuff in the claws like the original toy had and was seen in the show. So there's a pair of missiles, sort of. It's one piece sculpted as two missile warheads that peg in there, and then on the other side is the little Cyber Bee, which again just pegs in, which is fine because on that Beast Wars toy, the original Beast Wars toy, the spring launch gimmick ended up kind of destroying the claw on that side after a while, because I like that Mega Scorponok toy. The plastic they used did not hold up well over time. I have a secondhand one that I got, which came with some of the pegs sheared off, and then more of it kind of broke over time from the stress of its own existence. So, you win some, you lose some. So that's not a good showing for Deluxe Wave 3. I got my GameStop order in with the rest of Deluxe Wave 3, including another wing finger. Because I pre-ordered wing finger and tracks off of GameStop at the same time. I didn't want to pay the $23 GameStop wanted for Scorponok, and I was right to not do that. I got it for $20 from Amazon. They adjusted the price down when the pre-order got fulfilled. But I had heard that sometimes with GameStop pre-orders, if you cancel one item out of an order that qualifies for free shipping, they won't refund you the whole value of that item. They will refund you the difference between that item and then the shipping that they are now going to charge you for that order. So I just stuck with this, especially since handling that first wing finger I got from Amazon, I actually kind of liked it. And I saw on Twitter somebody's wing finger X2 combination, which actually looks pretty cool. So this is not going to go to waste in any case. But with that, I got tracks. I'm
apparently one of the only ones in the US because Amazon hasn't shipped tracks yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mine's
Best Buy and GameStop, I think, are the only places that have been offering tracks so far. Best Buy is doing it for store pickup. and GameStop is doing ship to home. I don't think GameStop still has tracks in stock for ordering right now, but it's not going to be long before Amazon and other places get these in, because they're obviously in the U.S. distribution system at this point. Unfortunately, tracks is far, far less than I had hoped it would be. Part of that is bad QC on this copy, because much like that Rhinox I was talking about before, the tension on the hip joints is basically non-existent. The toy will stand, but not very well. And if this was in robot mode and I held it up and shook it like this, you would see the legs just swinging freely back and forth. It's really a travesty. But again, floor polish is a thing that can be fixed without too much problem, because it's mushroom pegs. They're accessible. I can pop them out and reinforce them a little bit, and it should be fine in the long run. I also still have my Amazon one on pre-order, which I will probably keep that pre-order and hope for a better QC roll on that. Trex has some assembly/design flaws, mostly to do with the fenders in car mode. It affects the robot mode too, but it's more of a problem in car mode. These are pegged in pretty much where they're supposed to go, so the front end looks pretty solid. Part of that is because it's in flight mode right now. If you plug the arms into the sides where they go, a lot of time the fenders will pop loose. I can pop it out a little bit to simulate it. Like, it'll do it on that side. You can see there's a big gap there, and if I plug the arm in, there's a good chance it would do that by itself without me pulling the fender out specifically. The only solution that I've found for this that's non-surgical is, I don't know if this is going to show up. The robot feet are underneath the windshield. You can kind of see them at that angle. And I've got this foot at like a 45-degree angle. They're supposed to be flat to the windshield, but if I put this at a 45-degree angle, the fenders will stay in place then, because I think the way it's supposed to go, there's enough outward pressure on the car shell that it will pop the panel off, because it's not hugging the body as tightly as it's supposed to. There's little tiny pegs at the front of the fenders, which are just way too short to actually grab onto the sockets inside the fenders. I've been researching this further. Someone on Twitter, I don't know who it was because I'm getting this secondhand, they figured out that the flathead pins that hold the fender pieces onto the robot legs may not be driven in far enough, so the fenders are sticking out just a little bit farther than they're supposed to, and that's stopping them from holding onto the pegs and tabs that will hold them in place in either mode. In robot mode, this problem presents as those fender pieces just like freely swiveling around, which is a problem because that's what the feet are attached to. So there's definitely issues with this. And of course, besides those issues, which could be, mitigated on later production samples where maybe somebody put it together the right way, that doesn't really alleviate that 90% of the vehicle shell is clear plastic. And it's made very much like a Studio Series toy, where that 90% of the vehicle shell also just peels back and folds up to be a backpack. A process, the whole transformation process, but specifically folding up the backpack too, basically requires you to bend and stress clear plastic to get around other parts to. Yeah.
Hasbro, stop it.
It's one of those. Yeah. The transformation out of car mode is particularly frightening, even going into car mode, because you basically have to grab here from the windshield forward, which is clear plastic, and the hood, which is opaque plastic, and crack it like an egg to get that to release. There's not a graceful way to do that I've found so far, and getting it to go back the other way is like trying to crack an egg in reverse. If you can imagine such a thing. Yeah, there's some issues with how this was designed and made and put together, and I'm displeased, to say the least. Hopefully, again, the next one I get from Amazon will have some of the QC stuff worked out, where at least the experience in one or the other mode will be better. As it is, I'm probably going to keep one in one mode and the other in the other mode, so I don't have to transform these any more than I have to. And then the flight mode I've got in just because I was doing photography of the toy before the show, and I didn't bother to change the mode it was in. This is basically everything I thought it was going to be, which is that the arms are just kind of floating freely on the sides, and basically it just kind of relies on you being able to line everything up symmetrically. There's no walking of any kind. If you got a copy of this that had weak joints in the arms, the flight mode would not work because the arms hold up by swivel joints. They hold in by other swivel joints. Like, it's all based on joint friction. There's no pegging, tabbing, or even like click stops on it. It's this really could have gone a lot better than it did, and I almost feel lucky that the copy I have is not worse because of all the things that could have gone wrong with it.
I am so glad I got the Road Rage version of the Reveal the Shield tracks.
Yeah, I have that sitting around here still too. I'm still gonna get the Kingdom Road Rage because this vehicle shape in red looks killer. Even if I just get it and leave it in car mode all the time so that she wants to, be homicidal against everything she sees because that's Road Rage's character quirk. But like, yeah, I have not been having a fun time with this toy since I opened it yesterday, and I was making vague, angry comments in our Discord last night, which, some of the people who are around will probably recall. I didn't go into details because I thought I would just save it all up for the show today. And,
awesome.
One last little like insult to injury thing. So you got this toy that's got a flight mode, and for the last 5-6 years, Hasbro's been putting the 3mm port so you can attach these to things like Tamashii stages. Guess where there's not a flight stand port? The bottom of the car mode. There's a flight stand port, but to transform it into car mode, you have to turn around the waist so the flight stand port is facing in.
Oh, geez.
Like, there's even the pelvis armor here that is hinged and can flip up. They could have hid a flight stand port inside that or underneath on the joints, but no, it's on the opposite side of that part, so you can't even use it. It's a mess,
Wow.
man. It's a mess. And finally, I think that's all I got this week.
Cool. Who else got anything?
I'll go.
Okay.
I got a good story because if you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted that someone made a Transformers figure, and called it diecast.
Yeah.
And I was amazed that someone out there finally, ended up naming a Transformer diecast. So it was Dave Rayan at Mock Saber on Twitter. If you go to my Twitter at diecast2, I retweet. It's one of the things I retweeted, and it is the Theseus drone. I believe is what it was called. Done in black and red as a Diaclone. Yeah, and that's why he called it diecast as and he's also a blacksmith because he has a hammer and he can make other drones, basically. What I think is the whole idea. But it has G2 symbol on the windshield, looks really good. So I instantly contacted him and I was like, hey, do you want to, part with that? Or he was like, no, but I will make you one. So I'm getting one custom made. I should have that hopefully by the next show.
Sweet.
To show off.
Nice.
Because it's called diecast. So
Yeah, neat.
And also the Netflix figures have been hitting shelves again. So what I did is I got 2 more drones. That way he has an army to command. So I'll have, my diecast figure and, 2 Theseus drones, or what are they called? Theseus. Theseus army drone.
That reminds me, we didn't put this in the news. There was an unveil or a posting of a photo of Studio Series 86 sweep, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, so
what you would expect.
It made me laugh.
Yeah, no, it's funny, but it's also kind of clever. So like, it is literally the Scourge toy, but with swapped hands. So
And isn't it darker blue?
No, it's just a photography. So Scourge has an open left hand, I think, and a right
Yes.
closed fist. The Sweep has a closed left fist and an open right hand.
I love that.
That's the only difference besides the packaging.
That's
Made
crazy.
me so happy.
But it's clever though, because like Scourge's arms are assembled with screws. So if you want to have a Scourge with 2 open hands or 2 fists, it's a small, easy matter of surgery to swap those parts. And it lets them basically rerun the Scourge toy with no meaningful changes. For anybody who did not get it the first time, it's only a slight difference in the parts. But it can be Scourge just easily. It can be a sweep, and it's the most accurate thing to the cartoon because there was no visual distinction between Scourge and the sweep. So yeah,
cool. What else?
Given that we've had things where alternate parts got used early, do you think anybody out there got a sweep as their Scourge and doesn't even realize it?
It's possible.
100% possible.
Yeah, totally.
I also got the green dinosaur. What's his name?
Dragodon.
Dragodon. Yeah. I ordered Soundwave first on Amazon, and then I ordered Dragodon, and Dragodon shipped right away, and Soundwave is gonna ship in a week or 2, I think. So I got that. You're gonna have to help me with this one, Chris, because
Do I have to? I could just
Well-
leave you. I could leave you swinging in the breeze.
I need your expertise on
Oh,
this one, because I got Kingdom Wheeljack,
All right,
which I'm not sure is that just a repack of.
it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. It doesn't look any different, but I can't find my War for Cybertron. What line was it that
Earthrise.
Earthrise.
Earthrise? I couldn't find my Earthrise to see if there was any difference. What wave is this?
3.
It's
So Wheeljack
3?
ships with Trax and Scorponok and Wingfinger.
Ah, okay. So yeah, I got a Wheeljack just because when I saw it, I was like, I don't know if that's any different, but I'm not gonna risk it, and I'm gonna get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got it.
Oops.
Yeah,
Big deal. You got it.
yeah. It's not the worst thing in the world.
I mean, I was thinking about watching for those to go on clearance or slight discount because they will. My Earthrise Wheeljack has some paint wear in places already, so I wouldn't mind getting a fresh one.
Cool.
I also got the Fans Hobby Nightwalker, which is their Nightbeat.
Yeah.
Which is it's all right. I mean, after the Athena, when I got this, I was like, it's
I didn't care for
it's
Athena.
basically the same vehicle, just repainted, different head, different chest, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, they did a little bit of retooling to that, from what I understand. Like, I think their original prototype or production sample they had of that was literally just a recolor with a new head, and based on feedback from their customer base, like they added some additional new parts, but like the arms, most of the proportions are the same as what's on Athena. They just did some detail tweaks on them.
Yeah.
Cool.
But the big thing, which is little, but to me it's big, I got the Gray Chest Fans Toys Bombshell, which he is really nice. He is the toy accurate, I'm sorry, the cartoon accurate one, because the toy had the purple chest. I had the purple chest originally when they originally came out. That one is in bug mode, so he is going to stay in robot mode for my display. Again, he was going for crazy money in the US, like crazy. And I paid pretty much what I paid retail back when I got my original bugs. So, of course, you had to pick up all 3. So I also have Mercenary, which is their kickback
Shrapnel.
shrapnel, which I have. So I'm gonna have enough bugs. I mean, they're troop builders anyway, but I'm gonna have enough bugs that I can have one in robot mode and one in bug mode.
Cool.
So
Yeah, because most places were limiting it to one per person or one set per person of just whichever color. You couldn't get one of each color when they did the reissue. And everywhere that I go to check on third-party figures, no one has any left in stock again.
And the gray the gray chest bombshell was considerably more. So I made out pretty good on that. And the only other thing I got, which is kind of off topic, but it's Hasbro, I got Wrecker, which is the third what are they calling these? Bad Batch Star Wars figures.
Cool. Anything else?
That's it.
Cool. Hey, so it's getting late. Is anybody who else has something that's on topic? Matt, what'd you get?
Today I found the Sparkless Seeker, aka Shitstorm, aka Thundercrapper.
How do you like it?
All the joints on this thing are actually really super tight. You'd figure, as many times as this mold has been run, that it'd be wearing out, but no, it's pretty solid. I can't say the same for his Target Masters, because this just like pulls right off the barrel. So I'll have to take a hair dryer to soften that up, and you can. It doesn't show up very well on my camera, but the clips where it connects, you can actually see that they're physically bent in. So I'll just have to heat them up with a hair dryer and pry them apart a little bit, and it'll be fine. But yeah, just another Seeker to add to the ranks, and like, wow, the colors do not look any better in person. Like, yeah, the name is going to stick, I believe.
Yeah,
so.
Same.
Other than that, I just got a couple Marvel Legends. So
cool. Rob, what about you?
Okay, I'll make it quick. I got the non-F accessory packs for Earthrise, Ironhide, and Ratchet, so that they can have their repair bays. I got Generation Select's Black Rorichi because it was sitting in my pile of loot and I reached the ship deadline. I just kind of got that because gonna get Black Zarak. So
that's the right way to get that toy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing better would be if it was Bug Bite, because that's also the only way to get that toy.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a couple of MicroMasters to go do that, just so it wasn't the only thing shipping. Luckily, it was some of the I forget their names, but it's the combiners that aren't shuttle that work pretty well.
I actually have the package right here for the original. I had the package for them right here. They kind of got buried somewhere. Never mind.
Okay. And lastly, thanks to Matt, who sent me Gundam The Origin Volume 3 for my birthday. So I now have all 3 hardcover volumes of that cover the original release they did for this back in like 2003.
Cool.
Wow.
Awesome. John?
Nothing for me.
Okay.
I'm good.
Cool. Hey, so real quick for me, Matt, thank you for the G.I. Joe figures. You're awesome. Matt sent a couple of the Cobra Troopers from the 3 3/4 inch retro line. Thank you. Also, big thank you to Spider Bob again for my birthday. Sent me a Mayor McCheese pop and a G.I. Joe book from the 90s. I don't have it in front of me, but
everyone's got to send Brian pops for special.
I know, right?
I love it.
I know. But it's a G.I. Joe book on the history of G.I. Joe, specifically the 12-inch line. And I first saw it back in the 90s, like at whichever bookstore is closed now, Borders or whatever it was.
All of them?
All of them, yeah. And honestly forgot that it existed, and I just super excited to read it because it was something I was interested in when I saw it. Okay, so I got a couple things I'm going to actually hold off on because I don't have them in front of me. And one, I've got something that I need to do some work to, but I'll talk about them next week. So last week I mentioned I ordered the Beast Wars Walmart figures, the Rat Trap and the Cheetor, and they were supposed to be here in 2 days. No, they're not. They never got shipped. But they're still up on Walmart.com to ship. It says, like, next day available. BS. So, yeah.
If you just keep trying every day, eventually one day it'll work.
Yeah. So a couple other things I got, but I'm not going to go into because you guys got them. But a couple G1 items. I got a mitten box, crosshairs, the Japanese version from Artfire 2000.
Nice.
Yeah. So the box is a little beat up, but it's fine. It displays nice. I'm not a stickler for that. I don't have much in the way of box G1 stuff, let alone box Japanese stuff. I got another. This is off eBay. This is Cloudburst or Phoenix, as he's known in Japan. This one, again, eBay, but it was buy it now, and it's super cheap, and it's actually sealed.
Wow.
The box is the box is not perfect, but it's sealed in the original tape, and it's a G1 figure I didn't have.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head if there's any differences between the U.S. and Japanese releases of the Pretenders. There is with the Target Masters. It's just like the lack of a rub symbol. What are you going to say, Chris?
If I remember right, one of the Pretenders has like slightly different hair paint color.
Oh, yeah, that's probably... Go ahead. Wave Riders, the
yeah,
one.
I think so.
What,
but
brown
like
versus
otherwise,
black.
otherwise there's no differences. A lot of what came out in Master Force was straight, identical to the U.S. releases.
Yeah, I think it is Wave Riders hair though. I think that's
Wave
right.
Wave Riders blonde in the U.S. copy, I think.
Yeah, dirty blonde. Okay, last thing to talk about this week. I've been wanting this for years. I had a knockoff of it that came out when it was brand new in an Easter basket. It was actually a high quality knockoff, and I've been holding off on getting one for years. But I was watching eBay. I have a search on it, and I passed on a mint sealed box one that went for what I would consider a reasonable price. But last week or the week before, a one that had been opened sold for like $250, and I'm like, screw that. It's Baldigus. So I got this one from Japan.
Nice.
For substantially less than $150. It went for about what I would expect to pay for one of these. But when the price jumped up, $100 for one, for like sealed versus loose, I'm like, no, if I'm going to get it, I need to get it now. So I got one. It's the actual Takara version. It's not the Sonic Kong version, but pretty happy with that. So I've got it now, and lacking Battle Gaia as far as I know now, as far as usage of this mold goes. I don't have the Encore Bruticus, so I guess 2. But otherwise,
well, between the two, I think I know which is more likely for you to get next.
Yes. Yeah. So,
although, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, I think the only real difference for Encore Bruticus is that it has the weapon retooling from Baldigus.
Yeah. And I guess I'm thinking of the Constructicons where there's like an anime version. There's not an anime version of Bruticus that I know of.
I don't think so.
Man, I kind of need to get that anime version of Devastator. Now that I think of it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty nice for what it is.
Yeah. And
so look for that next week on RFC.
No. I've not come across that in a while.
Yeah, that's true. I actually forgot that existed until you mentioned it just now.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. Okay. I want to jump to thanking our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of the Touch tier. And again, if you want to be on the History on the Fives podcast, which we post every week, and you're a patron at the Touch tier, you're eligible to be on now. So you should do that. And it's one of our benefits for that. But if you're a patron in general, you get access to the podcast. It is a Patreon exclusive podcast where we look back on what was going on in Transformers history on years on the 5. So 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, so on and so forth. But our patrons at the touch tier, and you can find them at tfradio.net/credits, which I'm saying because that's actually what I'm typing into my web browser right now because I didn't already have it up. I want to thank, as it's loading, Kevin Dorsey. I basically know the stuff off the top of my head at this point, though. Kevin Dorsey, Ryan Bona, Cheesy Patty, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Jonathan James, Nathan Sampy, Ness, Joey Russell, Jason Hiley, Mike Mallory, Jason W. Rye, Sean Hamilton, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Spider Bob, Mighty Orbots, Black and White Now in Color, and Nate Wilson. Thank you all so much. You guys rock. If you want to be a patron again, go to patreon.com/tfradio. Or you can go to tfradio.net, which is where we have all of our links and stuff at anyway. All of our socials are there. And you can basically check out archives going back, I don't know, almost 22 years. Yeah, we're old.
I hate it.
Yeah. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at bkilby. And you can find my other stuff at briankilby.com. I'm working on some other podcast stuff for one of my other podcasts that I haven't posted an update in a while. Actually, a couple podcasts. So over the next couple of weeks, I should have a few episodes of a few different things posted. I'm excited about that. briankilby.com. John, how do people get a hold of you?
That John D everywhere.
Everywhere. Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at Diecast2. Make sure you look for my post of that custom diecast figure because I'm super excited about that. You can also follow me on Facebook at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see all my reviews, all my old reviews at tfradio.net/reviews.
Sweet. Don.
I'm reached on Twitter at HMRC4 EVR.
And of course, there's the Massey Attack wish list at tfradio.net/Massey Attack, so you can send Don medical care and also, fun things. But having a supply of sutures and gauze on hand for cat attacks is also fun when you really need it. In a pinch.
In a pinch.
I was gonna say, I guess I should post or pitch my my Amazon wish list since my birthday's coming up. It's the 22nd of July, and it is tfradio.net/diecast list.
Sweet. Chris.
I'm on Twitter personally at ChrisRTXV. I can't think of a reason off the top of my head right now compelling why you should follow me there, but just do it anyway, I guess. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList. I can't think of a compelling reason why you should buy me anything off of it, but do it anyway. For my toy photography stuff, a lot of it's collected at playwithphotography.com when I do galleries, which one day I will do a gallery again. I'm sure of it. Also articles and stuff. But I've got a fair bit of content there that's always fun to go back and look through. Especially since like every 2 or 3 galleries, the style completely changes. So complacency is kind of the thing to stay away from. So the constant changes of it kind of helps keep things improving theoretically, even if I can't see it myself. Other people tell me that's true, and I'm choosing to believe them. So it's interesting just to kind of see the journey through the different styles. For random things in between when I'm doing like actual structure stuff like that, at Play With Photos on Twitter, just a little bit before the show, I posted several photos of tracks, which make the toy look way better than it has any right to. And if you like the stuff I'm doing, you can support me and help me do more of it at Patreon, patreon.com/playwithphotos for as little as $2 per month.
Cool. Rob.
Okay, I can be found on Twitter at Figure Reviewers or Rob Flails. Rob Flails is the Twitter account for Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel, which covers Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PS4. And coming this weekend is SDG Gundam G Generation Genesis, which is a Gundam strategy game. And it is a lot of fun. And I'm uploading the first episode now, which is probably why my internet is terrible.
Oh, okay.
That might have been a bad scheduling choice, Rob.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to take like 6 hours so far because it's about 4 times the length of my usual or 4 times the file size of my usual videos, which go up in about 10-15 minutes. So
I blame YouTube.
Yeah.
I do too, which
Okay.
it's pretty much blaming YouTube in any situation is going to be the correct move.
I've also heard over the last few days other people, other creatives complaining about YouTube backend stuff being a mess.
Yeah, that must be it then, because ordinary videos are going up fine, but this is a much larger file in there, and they're deciding to mess with me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna interrupt that every so often so I can do other computer things that need done today. But hopefully, I will get it up by Saturday, which is when I intend to run it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, first couple episodes are kind of clumsy, but in between episodes like 2 and 3, I want to say I did enough grinding that I actually learned the systems and got the hang of the game, and it's a lot of fun, and I've been able to do a lot more with it. But if you like what I am doing, you can go to patreon.com/flowthroughs and throw a couple of bucks at me, and if you want to see a specific unit in Gundam Battle Operation, or I guess G Generation Genesis, hit me up there. And I also have a wish list at tfradio.net/playlist.
Cool. Okay. Rob Springer not here. Rob Springer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. And that's it. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Okay, my bladder's about to burst. So people watching live, I am going to go ahead and end the stream. So I'm going to just do this in order.
I wondered why you were in such a hurry.
Oh,
Right?
I'm about to pop. Sorry. About to pop. Okay.
That is the worst sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bye, YouTube. We'll see you later.
So the sparkless
Twitch.
Dawson,